really care if it's accurate or not. Now we're saying we've dialed this thing in. You can trust our measurements and you can trust the final that quote that you're seeing. You can trust that number that's on there because we have already started adding in some of the other escalators to the price that we were never had access to before. Now we have access to those numbers as well.
Yeah. I think that makes total sense. And that, I mean, it sounds like you guys are on top of it from the accuracy standpoint. One thing that we're seeing a lot of, and John is doing this same thing. You guys you're talking a lot, selling, allowing people to just get the price and then buy the roof. But it seems like everyone at the moment is mostly using the Roofquote tool as a way to pull in leads. And then once you have it in the system, you then still are going to have to create the final quote. You're going to have to order the Eagle View, or at least, the roofer report, and get the final measurements, work out all the numbers, put together that quote. And so some of the pushback that I've personally heard is, if I still have to do all of that, now Roofquotepro is an added price. Yeah, maybe if it gets me more leads, but it's just purely, does it get me more leads, right? That's the main question they're asking themselves, because they don't seem to be able to replace that other part of the process. And that seems to be somewhat in contrast to what you guys are saying, what you and the rest of Roofquotepro is saying, where you're like, the market is changing. This is how people want to do roofs. How are you guys approaching this? Is it something that you guys are trying to pull those together and marry it long term? I don't know if you could fill us in on that.
Yeah, John, I don't know. Do you want to talk about your experiences first, or do you want me to kind of talk about the pathway here?
Oh yeah, so I'm interested to know the roadmap for Roofle. I am,
Yeah.
but I'll say what in the past it has molded over time. It is generally a lead magnet for us. So our process right now, we use it to kind of touch back on what you're saying about like if there are differences in price. The consumer is also skeptical of this tool. It's actually in our benefit right now. So when you say ballpark price, they're like, I want a ballpark price. Oh, I know this is not going to be accurate. I'm not going to hold you to it. It's the same thing when they're staring right at you and like, what's the ballpark price? It's the same thing, but they just going to do it at home. So we've had a $6,000 change order because things are out of our control. They weren't the measurements necessarily. It was multiple layers of shingles and rotten decking, the two biggest concerns that are protected in Roofquotepro and in our contract. That's fine. So anyone that to overcome that objection from a contractor, the customer they wrote a 5-star review. They're happy. They understood that I'm getting a ballpark price. We gave them that exact price. Hey, these are the two ways that we will change the price. It will not change anything else. We documented it in Company Cam. You have to do all the processes to get the change order, but you are protected using Roofquotepro, using that straight process. The way we use it right now, we get a lead, they schedule an inspection. We would love to inspect the roof before we send an estimate. Before the inspector even gets there, because of the way ProLine works, Kathleen's already written the estimate in ProLine. We have the whole estimate written because we know it's a qualified lead. We do order Eagle View because we want exact measurements for a material order. That's how we do it right now. We used to not, and that's fine. The problem is it's not about the measurements at that point. It's about giving the proposal to the customer that day. That's why we want it. It's not so much like because the way Roofquotepro is right now, we don't know all the ridge, the valleys. We want to know every linear foot of everything. And so we know our numbers. So we want to be super accurate with that. That's the way we use it right now. Roofquotepro lead comes in, they schedule an inspection through the automation. Once they're pre-qualified, we order Eagle View. We have the proposal ready within 24 hours. And so we want to present that very accurately to the homeowner right now, the same day we inspect. And then if they say, I'm getting 2 more estimates, that's fine. We just send them in ProLine follow up and they buy the roof from ProLine proposal. That's how our process works.
Yeah, so I appreciate you talking about that because so when I talk about e-commerce in the roofing industry, I talk about us being on a pathway there. And it's one of the things where you can see in the user experience and the UI in Roofquotepro is because they actually did a of concept before they release this to contractors. Does this work? What do homeowners look for? How do they interact with it?